All right, if you want to find your seats, I'm going to just talk this direction. Here we go. We're good. All right, we're going to go ahead and get started.
You gotta use your principal voice.
Yes. Welcome everyone to this fantastic and exciting day. We are excited for the swearing in of Commissioner Pickering, Commissioner McKinney, and Commissioner Nilsson. Thank you for all of you being here to support them. We want to recognize with us, we have Mayor Evans and Mayor McLean, as well as those who will be doing the swearing in Boise City Council President Colin Nash. Thank you for being here. Ada County Clerk Trent Triple, as well as the Honorable District Judge Patrick Miller. Thank you for being here and supporting this wonderful event. We're just going to get started. Let's get going. Get to the main event. We're going to start out with the swearing in of Commissioner Pickering.
After we can have food. All about the snacks. Right there.
Okay, ready?
Ready, let's go.
Repeat after me. I do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States of America.
You could
I'll
start over, Cal. Thank you.
I do solemnly swear
I do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States of America,
that I will support the Constitution of the United States of America,
the Constitution and laws of Idaho,
the Constitution and laws of Idaho,
the laws and policies of the Ada County Highway District,
the laws and policies of the Ada County Highway District,
that I will faithfully discharge
and I will faithfully discharge
the duties of the office of Ada County Highway District Commissioner
the duties of the office of the Ada County Highway District Commissioner
according to the highest ethical standards
according to the highest ethical standards
and to the best of my ability.
and to the best of my ability.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations.
Thanks so much. Do the transit. All right, I have a few remarks really quick. Thanks. With kiddos, I think you guys remember it takes a little bit more time to get oriented. Well, good morning, everyone. My name's Alexis Pickering, and for those of you that are here supporting me, you all know how to make an Idaho County girl feel really special. I first off want to say thank you to my tremendous family, my husband, my son, who made sacrifices to support my passion for service. My campaign team, Melanie, Zach, Chelsea, and so many others that worked with me in the trenches day in and day out on those long nights. My volunteers, without you, there would have been no campaign. And this day is for you. And to my supporters who live in my neighborhood, across the district, statewide, and beyond, thank you. And lastly, I'm grateful and humbled to the 20,039 voters who put their trust in me for another term. The last 4 years, I've learned a lot, and together we've been able to usher in a new era for ACHD and transportation in Idaho's fastest growing and most prosperous county. We've made it easier for neighborhoods to get the projects that they need to slow dangerous speeding and be better connected to parks and schools. We've deepened our collaboration with our municipal leaders, and now they have a seat at the table for advocating for the projects that they'd like to see. And we've made huge strides in increasing our responsiveness and serving our community. And whether that was a new website, an incoming portal to report problems, building new maintenance yards, to improve service times for year-round maintenance, and in large weather events, to demystifying our transportation system and how we make decisions. It's now an agency that puts people and safety first. One of the benefits of running a competitive race is that every vote counts. And we've worked hard to earn those votes. And so I was able to talk to thousands of voters in Garden City, Boise, and a small part of Meridian, who shared their priorities and concerns with me. And because of that, I'm going into this next term even more fervent in making this the best transportation agency in the country. We've got a lot of work to do. I'm ready to go. We're still learning the lessons from the infrastructure that we've inherited and set from us from 5 generations ago. And the next generation, and we owe it to the next generation to not repeat those bad mistakes of the past. And instead plan and collaborate to build a system that is responsive, safe, and creates communities where folks can thrive. So thank you to the voters of District 2 for putting your faith in me and giving me the precious opportunity to work for you for the next 4 years. It's been an honor of my life to serve you, and I'll work just as hard over the next term to deliver on those campaign promises of making your life easier, safer, and connected, and I'm ready to get to work. Thank you.
Thank you, President Pickering. We look forward to your continued leadership here with us. Next, we will have Commissioner Dave McKinney to be sworn in by Trenchless, our Ada County clerk.
I do solemnly swear
I do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
of America
of America
the Constitution and the laws of Idaho,
the Constitution and laws of Idaho,
the laws and policies of Ada County Highway District,
the laws and policies of Ada County Highway District,
and that I will faithfully discharge
and that I will faithfully discharge
the duties of the office
the duties of the office
of Ada County Highway District Commissioner
of Ada County Highway District Commissioner
according to the highest ethical standards
according to the highest ethical standards
and to the best of my ability.
and to the best of my ability.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations.
All right, well, I'll say just a couple of words. Thank you to all who have come. This is very different from the swearing-in ceremony 4 years ago when we were in the midst of COVID. This room was completely empty. And so this is a nice, welcome change. Some of you, for those who don't know me, I used to be a highway engineer. I got my degree in civil engineering in 1991 and worked as a highway engineer in Boise area for about 4 years, earned my professional engineer's license, and then left engineering practice and went to law school. During the time as an engineer, I worked on a number of projects for the Ada County Highway District. We had a number of highway widening and improvement projects that we designed, and I was happy to be involved with that. I've been practicing law for 25 years since then, but I've kept my sort of fingers in the mix of the kind of the highway and infrastructure area. I was a planning and zoning commissioner in another city for about 6 years. I was on the Meridian Transportation Commission. And then in 2020, when Sarah Baker was stepping down from the ACHP Commission, I decided to run for that position. And my decisions for running are purely that I asked myself, where could I be of benefit to my community, given my background and abilities? And this is a perfect fit. It's been a privilege and an honor to serve on the ACHD Commission for the last 4 years, and I look forward to the next 4 years. Somebody asked an interesting question a while ago. They said, why does the ACHD Commission exist? And there's two reasons. The reason for this commission is to, number one, give an outside viewpoint to a government agency. That's always important. Any large organization, whether it's a private corporation or a government agency, can get sort of hidebound and locked into its own way of thinking, and also thinking in an insular way about its own desires and own intentions, and forget about the people outside. In a private corporation, you have directors and shareholders and customers who give that feedback. With a government agency, we need to have the same kind of thing, but since there are no customers, we have voters that we have to deal with. We have voters that we have to support and promote, and we have to listen to the interests of the voters. That's the purpose of the commission, is to bring in that point of view of the voters as well as that outside viewpoint. So those are the two main things, and that's what I intend to do. Two ways of getting that voter viewpoint are, number one, talking to voters, which we always do. We're talking to people all the time. But sometimes you can, well, there's the squeaky wheel problem. In government service, the challenge is that sometimes there are groups and individuals who make the most noise, and then there are a lot of people, just the regular, ordinary people who are going about their lives, not making a lot of noise, whose interests sometimes get forgotten. One of the things that this agency did a couple of years ago that I think is very good, and I make this, excuse me, my primary objective, we did a large sample. We worked with Boise State University experts in sampling and surveying. We did a large sample survey of the residents of Ada County. What did they consider the top priorities for highways, for the Ada County Highway District going forward? And we got a lot of fantastic, excellent information. But the one thing that came to the top of the list was this. They want us to build and maintain a highway system that gets them from point A to point B as quickly and efficiently and safely as possible. And that's the core mission of Ada County Highway District, and I think that is my core mission. Number one at the top of the list in doing that is widening and building roads. After all, we're the highway district. That's my objective, that's my promise, and that's what I intend to do for the next 4 years, to help this district focus on its core mission and to take care of that for the people of this county. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Commissioner McKinney. We look forward to your ongoing guidance and leadership here at the Highway District. Next, it's my pleasure to introduce our newest Commissioner-elect Patricia Nelson, to be sworn in by the Honorable District Judge Patrick. Thank you so much.
All right, you got,
Here, I'll let you guys hold it, Joel.
let your family hold the Bible.
Yeah, I'll let Joel hold it.
Just put, there you go.
There you go.
All right, get close to here so everybody can hear
Oh.
you. I do solemnly swear
I do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States of America,
that I will support the Constitution of the United States of America,
the Constitution and laws of Idaho,
the Constitution and laws of Idaho,
the laws and policies of the Ada County Highway District,
the laws and policies of the Ada County Highway District,
and that I will faithfully discharge
and that I will faithfully discharge
the duties of the office
the duties of the office
of Ada County Highway District Commissioner
of the Ada County Highway District Commissioner
according to the highest ethical standards
according to the highest ethical standards
and to the best of my ability,
and to the best of my ability.
so help me God.
So help me God. Thank you so much. Okay. Thank you, guys. Yeah, we'll talk about this. Thanks. Oh my gosh, this is so wonderful to see everybody here. Similar to the other commissioners, I want to thank my family, my son Joel and husband Mark, who really have to get back to work, but I really appreciate them being here. Our dear friend David, thank you for being here, David. And Tammy showed up. Awesome. All my friends, but I do want to kind of thank Commissioner Pickering, the campaign staff that really made this possible. Kudos to you all and all the volunteers, all of us who just knock doors, talk to voters. I drank from the fire hose several days, answering hundreds, maybe it was 1,000 text messages from voters across District 1 and beyond, I believe, who really added to that depth of knowledge, similar to what we've heard, the people who really rely on the highway district to help them have a good day, in whatever facet of getting from point A to point B. So thank you, campaign team and volunteers. I also want to thank all my friends here. I have friends from my volunteer activities with the United Way, my Sunrise Rotarians out there. When Judge Miller mentioned the highest ethical standards, I immediately went to the 408 test. And yes, I have my Rotary pin on for anyone who cares. But the other thing of what kind of makes Tricia Nilsson tick is service. I come from really generations of service. And it's my husband's family as well. This is a Bible. It's in Swedish. So if anyone can speak Swedish, you're welcome to look it over. It's held together. Yeah, 19th century Swedish Bible from my husband's great grandfather, Nils Nilsson. So there really is someone named Nils Nilsson inscribed in here. And I also, my father was career military. I carry his rosary today. Though I'll tell you, it did not give me any luck with the Fiesta Bowl last week. It has helped with some Patriots comebacks and Red Sox World Series, but sorry about Boise State. Maybe next time. But really what makes me tick is this ethic of service. My whole career of working in public service, the last, 28 years now in Ada County. I used to joke with my 8 years in Canyon County, I'm highly qualified to be a taxi driver. I think I know every road in both counties and in the region. I used to say when I'd commute from Boise to Caldwell that I was bi-coastal, so I really have a good understanding of the transportation system, of which roads are a part. But all of the people and everything I've heard from voters over the campaign and in my 28 years here in the Valley is we need to help people. People are struggling in this day and age. There's a lot of struggles out there. And I just want to say after I won the election, I had to send a few resignation letters out for some of my service activities, and just some of them this week. But the one volunteer activity that I refused to give up, and I had to change my schedule because I used to do it Wednesday afternoons, and that conflicted with ACHD, was I volunteer an afternoon a week at a local hospital. And if you want to get a good understanding of mobility issues that thousands and thousands of people in Ada County have to deal with, and they may have been dealing with them for years, or this might be a new event and their life has changed drastically. That keeps me in touch with our citizens the best way possible, is just literally giving them a helping hand. So that is something near and dear to me. That's something I have pretty good as a planner, pretty good powers of observation. And I've always said planning can be somewhat of an obtuse, what does a planner do? And I've always boiled it down to our job and all of us in this room in public service, the ACHD team, or elected officials, Mayor Evans, Mayor McLean, thank you for being here, is helping people. And that our job is to try to create the best day possible for people, to try to remove those friction points in from when they wake up until when they go to bed. And as much as transportation can be one of those friction points, that'll be my laser focus to try to make that, again, the best day possible for people. So again, thank you for being here.
Thank you, Commissioner Nilsson. My career along 20 some odd years ago began as an intern supporting Commissioner Nilsson. So it's kind of a fun turn of events today.
I'm so proud of him.
This is a wonderful, so grateful to have you all here. Thank you for being here. Congratulations, Commissioner Pickering, Commissioner McKinney, Commissioner Milton. We look forward to serving with you for the next 4 years and as many years to come. So look forward to and appreciate each one of you for being here. Please partake of some refreshments and celebrate. We'll continue our commission meeting beginning at 11:30.
Thank you.
So. There's really nothing we can do. Are you still listening? Is it still unmuted? I muted, yeah, I can unmute it again.
I already approved this purchase.
Oh, here.
I feel like I approved it before.
No, it's working. I can definitely hear chatter.
All right, good morning, everyone. We're gonna go ahead and kick off our pre-commission agenda. I don't have anything to share, but any housekeeping items or questions about the agenda? Commissioner Goldthorpe.
I just have a comment to make, and we are going to be reappointing members of different advisory committees. And there's one thing that I don't think very many people are aware of. In the situations where the commissioners are involved with advisory committees, it's almost always strictly in an advisory or ex officio or whatever capacity where we can make comments and stuff, and people say that they're okay with that and they appreciate us being there. And that's probably true. But anyway, we have no skin in the game, except for on the ADA Advisory Committee, where there has been an exception made to allow me for a while now to be an actual voting member of that committee. And I'm grateful for that. It's a nice group of people and we do good things. And I would hope that that would expand to some of the other advisory committees in the future, but we'll see about that. That's all I wanted to do, was kind of make sure that other people realize that was kind of cool.
Okay, thanks, Commissioner. Any other questions on the agenda? All right, Director Head. Welcome.
Thank you, President Pickering. Commissioners, it's always a pleasure. Happy New Year. We're excited for the year ahead, lots of fun things. And today I have just a brief presentation talking about some of those things that we have planning in the works for this year. But first, we do want to welcome Commissioner Nielsen. I'm very excited to work with you and to have you joining the commission. As well as the return of President Pickering and Commissioner McKinney. It truly is a pleasure to work with all of you, and we look forward to the opportunity to do so this next year. We continue as staff to build our focus around building together, building safe, and building more with the intent of always connecting the public. That is always our focus and continues and will always be our focus, and so that we can provide the public the best infrastructure and the opportunities to move around their community. Just want to share with you a few of our goals for this year as it relates to build and the focus areas as your executive team has looked at these and some things that we have ahead of us. We have a lot. We have our largest capital construction budget that has ever been adopted for ACHD, and many, many projects, many important projects all over the county, in Meridian and Eagle and in Boise and throughout the entire county. We are very excited about the work that's happening in each of our communities, and that's a big deal. And so that is our top focus, is to get that infrastructure built. As we look at the 5-year plan, and I don't know how much I've daylighted this fully with the commission, but we are now calling the integrated 5-year work plan the 5-year plan. It's just a lot simpler. It's a lot easier for people to find. Not too many people like spelling integrated on our website, and so we are calling it the 5-year plan. Plain simple, short there. But we are looking at how are we progressing with the top priorities of each of our jurisdictions. As we've had the plan continue to be impacted by inflation and the costs that continue to increase, it's had some impact in the scheduling of projects, and we want to make sure that we're being a good partner and working with each of the jurisdictions and make sure those top priorities. So I've directed emphasis on the top 3, because in a 5-year span, that's about the best you can do. But really want to make sure that those projects are moving forward. And so that is one of our priorities this year as we review that. The next bullet here is I say ensure a just right operating budget recommendation. And when I say just right, I mean the right amount. The right amount, and that means we're looking at opportunities to reduce costs. We're also looking at opportunities and needs as it comes to staffing to make sure that we have the right staff levels for our operational needs. There are definitely areas where there are some challenges. We've heard about them. We hear about them through ACHD Connect and through our communications portals, that we do need to make sure that we have the right staffing from our paint crews and our sign crews and our sweeping and all of those different areas. And so through our budget adjustment process, we'll be bringing some of those things, but at the same time, we are looking closely and making sure that we have what we need to operate, and really that's what we will include, nothing more. So we'll be bringing those things to you as we work on our budget throughout this year and through our adjustments. As you are aware, we're continuing to look at our pavement preservation strategy. It's time. It's time to make sure that chip seal's the right approach. It's time to make sure that we are using consultant resources and all of our resources properly. And as we've started that conversation with you all, we will continue and we will finalize that conversation this year. But it's a big deal. It's why we were created, and we want to make sure that we're doing this in the best way possible. One of the areas that we hear the most about from a communication perspective is signs and traffic control and temporary traffic control. FHWA and the Department of Transportation has recently fully adopted PROAG into the federal standard. And there are some things with regards to that we also need to look at from a traffic control perspective. And so this next month, we will be calling together all of the traffic control companies and having a bit of a summit to talk about some of the concerns we're hearing, some of the options. We continue to look at opportunities to direct corrections directly at those who tend to be subcontractors, those traffic control companies. And so we really want to address that concern we hear from the public, as well as all those throughout the county. One of the things that we'll continue to do this year, as we've done in the past few years, is look at our policy and make sure it's as up to date as it should be, that it meets our current practices, that it represents and reflects the best practices. One of the things we've done over the last few years is make some tweaks to our development policy. But there's some things that have been kind of lingering in the conversation because they didn't pertain to those particular items. And so we'll be doing a full depth review and working with the development community, with our partners, to make sure that we have that in the right place, and we have all the tools in the hands of our staff to make sure that we have the right policy in place, and we'll be bringing that to you. And then continue to work, and we will be completing 2 major facilities this year with the Traffic Operations Center and with the move to Meeker. A lot of important work is going on there. I was just out at both of those sites yesterday. Great work is happening. And the Traffic Operations Center is beautiful. It is a wonderful building, and we'll have all the resources there. I've had lots of opportunities also to talk to our law enforcement partners, and who are very excited about that building as well, and the work we can do together in that area. And we'll continue the construction of our Apple Yard. So again, it's a very big year with lots of facilities that are in the works, but it's we will get all of these things done. So just a few items to make you aware of that are coming up. You all received an invitation via email yesterday for the Ada County elected official swearing in. That will be 2 commissioners, the prosecutor, as well as our sheriff. That is this next week. If you are so desire to attend, please let Stacy know so we can post quorum on that. We have a few commission meetings still scheduled. We will be closed on the 20th for the Martin Luther King Jr. holiday. We do have a joint meeting scheduled for the 21st of January with the City of Meridian and the Meridian City Council. That is scheduled at 4:30 at Meridian. They are hosting this time, and we look forward to visiting. Topics are still being finalized, and we'll finalize that agenda once the election is over today for your president. But generally, we're looking at things like our integrated 5-year work plan, their priorities there, the Linder corridor, which has been a topic of conversation that you've all been discussing, their safety, their intersection safety planning that they've done. Those are the things that at least to date have been discussed. On the 22nd, we'll have our night commission meeting. And then on the 23rd, we will have the Downtown Eagle Mobility Project Phase 2 construction kickoff. So Phase 1 is wrapped up there, and we'll be moving on to Phase 2 to finish all that important work down in the core. Another exciting thing that's coming up this month, just to make you aware, is we will officially be moving out of Orchard on the 27th of this month. So that lease was up at the end of February. The team will be moving out. We'll have a small period of time where some staff will be co-located either here or we'll be working from home so that we can move the infrastructure that's there and all of their equipment. But it's such an exciting time. I can't believe that we're here, right? That we've gotten to this point, but their offices and workstations are all looking very good. They're making really good progress out at Meeker, and we look forward to that opportunity there. With that, Commission, I'll stand for any questions.
Thanks, Director. I think that looks very thorough update for what's ahead. Commissioners, anything? Commissioner Nelson?
Yeah, I just looking at, I'm really pleased to see the update to the development policy. And I just ask you to consider if there would be opportunities to work with our city partners as that's
Absolutely.
done. There's been such turnover at the local government level. It could be a real opportunity to forge some relationships and get a better understanding of what ACHD does and how we can work better together. So.
Madam President, Commissioner Nielsen, we fully agree. Our team works very closely with our partners, and we want to include them in that conversation. In fact, there's been some conversations even with the city of Kuna and their elected officials and staff, and our team has gone out and is doing some training out there too, just to make sure that they understand our approach and our role in the development process. So we definitely want to include our partners in that conversation.
Thank you.
Madam President,
Commissioner McKinney?
Director, just to clarify on the Traffic Operations Center, we're starting to move in on January 27th. So are we complete? Is the construction complete, or what's the timing on that?
Madam President, Commissioner McKinney, we're moving out of Orchard, which is office team. The traffic operations team won't be moving until April into the new building. So that's getting close. If you go out there, all the exterior work is really done. There's interior work still happening within the main building. So that's not quite ready, but it's coming along. We expect the work to be done generally by March, with occupancy getting certified in April and move by March timeframe, with occupancy in April and move-in finalized by May of this year.
So the staff that are moving out of the Orchard facility on January 27th, where are they going?
They will be moving into Meeker.
Oh, okay. So we're
Yeah, that's
starting to
the
occupy
first
that.
phase of Meeker.
Okay.
So our Orchard team, we really prioritized getting that complete so that team has a place to move into.
Okay, great. Thank you.
So first phase will be done.
Any other questions for the director? All right, well, we'll be at ease for 17 minutes. Thanks.
Thank you.
All right, good afternoon, everyone. It's now 12 o'clock. I'm going to go ahead and call the meeting to order. Please join us in standing for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, and thanks for everyone joining online and in person. Commissioners, is there a motion to approve the agenda?
So moved.
Second. It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. All right, the next item is the consent agenda. Items on the consent agenda are considered to be routine and will be enacted by one motion. There will be no separate discussion on these items unless a commissioner or citizen so requests, in which case the item will be removed from the consent agenda and placed on the regular agenda. All consent agenda items are commission action items unless otherwise noted. We don't have any requests, so is there a motion?
I'll move to, we approve the consent agenda.
Second. Moved and seconded. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. All right. Moving into our regular agenda action items. The first item is election of officers for the calendar year of 2025. Any discussion before we get into a motion? Okay. Well, it's been an honor and a privilege to be president of the commission for the past 2 years. And I'm ready to pass the baton. Don't think I need to hoard the position by any means. And I think it's really good to have new folks in that position. And so I would like to make a motion to nominate Commissioner Gold for president.
I'll second that.
It's moved and seconded. Discussion.
Madam President,
Commissioner Gold.
well, thanks. I really appreciate the nomination. It's been an honor to serve as the vice president for the commission for the last year. And I look forward to the opportunity to serve the commission as president for this coming year. I think we have a lot of big and exciting things in the works, and I look forward to supporting the agencies, the commissions, and ultimately the public's priorities, many of which the director did a great job outlining in his director's report. It's been really great to continue to develop strong relationships with our partners and bring a collaborative approach to the work that we do, and respect and advocacy for all of Ada County residents and the right-of-way users. And I think there's also been a really big and important effort over the last couple of years to update policies to reflect where we are now. And I look forward to continuing to assess and evaluate those opportunities. I appreciate Commissioner Goldthorpe's earlier comment about the ADA committee as an example. So I'd really appreciate the commission's support and look forward to the work ahead.
Any other discussion? I just want to say Commissioner Gold has been amazing to work with over the last year and has been able to ask really good questions. I think has a lot of that momentum to keep moving in the next year with Meeker and those types of things, those conversations and details, which take, finer eye in the president's role. And I think she'll be able to have the time, capacity, and the talent, work ethic to give those items the care that they deserve. And yeah, so if there's no other discussion, Commissioner Goldthorpe.
Yeah, I before there's another nomination or vote or anything, I would like to make a comment about how consistently I have heard about what Commissioner Gold does behind the scenes. And would say that if you're going to serve as the president of the commission going forward, it needs to be in front of the scenes. That's all.
Thanks for that comment.
Well put. All right. All right. All those in favor say aye.
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 Any
Aye.
opposed? Motion carries. Congratulations, Commissioner Gold. All right, we will, I'll go ahead and finish the meeting if that's all right with you, and then we can transition it to you in the next one if that's all right.
That's great.
Okay, are you appalled? Commissioner Goldberg?
I
You may
mean,
object.
I've
Oh.
already paid my first month's tribute.
Oh, goodness gracious.
Some MTA cartons.
Oh, yeah, FDA card. Oh, goodness. All right. The next one is vice president. So, any motions for that position?
Yes, I'd like to nominate Commission Member Pickering to be vice president.
I'll second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion?
Yeah, I'll just say that it's been great to work with you in your leadership as president over the last 2 years. And, you know, as I mentioned, there's a lot of things that are underway. So having your continued, you know, insight and support as we work through those will be really great. And I appreciate your commitment to those things that have happened over the last 2 years and your leadership on the commission.
Any other discussion
Or motions.
or motions? Okay, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. All right, so the next item is appointment of treasurer and secretary of the board for the calendar year 2025. We kind of know.
Did she do something wrong?
No.
Oh, okay.
Did you want to say a few things or can we just jump into a motion? All right, so, would like a motion for, secretary, if that's all right, which is Miss Stacy. Is there someone that would like to make that motion?
Yeah, I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Moved
Okay.
and seconded.
You're gonna have to change her name to Miss Stacy though.
Sorry.
To Stacy Spencer.
Yeah, Miss Stacy Spencer, yes. Moved and seconded. Any discussion? Stacy, you've done a flawless job. Not that you had a choice in the matter, but looking forward to continuing to work with you in this capacity. Yes. Any other discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. All right, the next item is appointment of treasurer, which is Sherwin Pesca. Is there a motion?
Yes, I'd like to move that Sherwin Pesca still be retained as our treasurer.
Second.
Moved and seconded by Commissioner McKinney. Any discussion? Sherwin, you're doing a flawless job. We can't see you, but there you are. Keep up the great work. Any other discussion items? Okay, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Congratulations to you both. All right, any public communications? Is there anyone that would like to address the commission at this time? Yes,
We
ma'am.
do have Jana Kim.
Welcome, Jana. Just state your name and address for the record and you'll have 3 minutes.
Thanks, commissioners, director, and staff. My name is Jana Kemp. I reside at 902 North Baker Street, and I've also owned a home in Garden City for over 20 years. I'm here today, third attempt to be present at a noon meeting because the other ones were canceled last year, so I'm very grateful to meet you in person. I'm here today because I have reached out, my husband has reached out to Ada County Highway District staff on a number of occasions, and we still have some lingering concerns. I would like to share them with you and ask that it be entered into the record so that we can receive follow-up on what those concerns have been. First is the pathway that ACHD owns between Gage and Emerald along Philippi. We appreciate that the County Highway District has done more regular cleanups in the last 2 years based on 2 years ago, my making a request via the then director's office for help. But we're living there. The trail had not been put in. The bike station had not yet been put in. So we're grateful for the improvements. The current challenges are twofold. Ongoing trash pickup. We would ask that the highway district somehow figure out a way, whether it's with community service or whatever problem solving needs to happen, for that pathway to continue to be maintained about every 3 weeks, because trash accumulates that quickly. The second of the 2 requests for that pathway is that the beautiful bike station, for which we have made multiple calls about the tools that have been cut off of the station for repairing your bicycles, either take that station out or replace the tools. And we've made email requests, we've made phone call requests, and my husband spoke to somebody after a Rotary meeting about it. So as of yesterday afternoon, when I walked through there, the tools still have not been replaced. So the pathway along Philippi between Gage and Emerald. Item 1. Item 2, Gage Street itself is not all the way through. There are red "don't drive through here." The sidewalk was improved. That's fine, but strange. That area also needs to be included in the cleanup because trash accumulates there. As of yesterday afternoon, there's a branch from a personal property that is a large branch that's broken off the tree and is now hanging over a fence and into that ACHD owned property. I don't know what the future of that section of road is, whether you intend to ever finish it or not, but it also needs to be cleaned and maintained so that it makes a nice walking area for the neighborhood. Next is a question. Does ACHD have any regulatory power over entities that shine lights that flash into the eyes of drivers?
I think if that's your last point, I think let's let staff answer that. Just
It's not my last point, but.
Oh, well then go ahead.
Okay, so
finish your
that's
time.
one question.
Yep.
Somebody can follow up with me after the fact, please. And then the next is about light timing. I made a phone call and never received a phone call back a number of months ago in 2024 about the intersection of 13th and Front trying to turn left onto the connector. It's horrible. It's dangerous. People are stacking up. They're going into the intersection at 13th and Myrtle, and people are having to sit through lights over on 13th South. So I see head nodding. You know what I'm talking about. Please, 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 for safety's sake, fix that intersection. No one ever called me back. The last is a request from one of my neighbors on Fremont Street. She's wondering if there will be an assessment of that Marcus Baker Street subdivision area, which is just to the east of St. Alphonsus, around sidewalks. They're the 1950s teeny tiny little sidewalks or no sidewalks. And she and her husband like to walk in the neighborhood a lot. Wondering if there's a plan for assessing that and making sidewalk improvements. Thank you, commissioners.
Yes, thanks, Ms. Kemp. So I think, can I have a staff member answer the point about the lights though, really quick? Director? There, go over there. Thank you, thank you.
Thank you, Madam President, Commission, Ms. Kemp, thank you for being here, and we will definitely work on and ensure that you have good communication on these items. As far as lighting goes, as it's shined in onto properties, no, we do not have jurisdiction over that. Road lights? I'm sorry.
Madam President, Director, I'm speaking specifically of lights that shine onto Curtis Road from Hollywood Hustler, lights that shine onto Fremont from Ferguson, that blind people when they're driving on the roads.
Gotcha. Unfortunately, Madam President, Ms. Kemp, we do not have that jurisdiction, but we can coordinate with the land use agencies who do regulate that lighting and things.
So on a couple of those points, so thank you for coming. Thanks for sharing. I apologize that you haven't gotten good communication from us. So we'll thank you for coming. That's perfect because then we can address that. Usually those bike fix-it stations are not us. Usually those are City of Boise. So we can, I think overall, we'll try and get to the bottom of it though on all of the points. If it's us or the city, we'll figure it out. And the trash and all that good stuff. So just know that we don't do any of the fix-it stations. So we will work with the city to make sure that they can get that done. But thank you.
Thank you. The reason I'm shaking my head is because it took me about 6 months to figure out who owned that piece of property. There was a lot of debate between the city and the county and the highway district. And it's platted, whoever put the bike station in. So whoever would like to follow up with me, I will go sit down. You can come and take my phone number because I don't want to have to return to the commissioners to get help.
No,
Thank you.
and it might be platted, but it still might be City of
Owned by the
Boise.
city for
Exactly,
maintenance.
exactly. Yep.
Thank
Yeah,
you
I think
so
that's
much.
probably the nuance there, but I'm sorry you had to track that down and all that good stuff. So I know we'll have a staff member connect with you. We can't make any decisions off from the
Oh, I
dais.
understand. I'm just asking for help
No.
because it's not resolved.
We
So,
got it. Thank you.
so much.
All right, thanks, Ms. Kemp. Anything else? Anyone online? Commissioner Nelson?
Yeah, I appreciate Ms. Kemp for coming. Good to see you again. It's been many years, but You know, I encountered the same issue with bike repair stations. It's always trying, when I was on the board of the Southeast Neighborhood Association, they will be submitting for a grant. But there, we discovered during our conversations with the school district that there was, I guess the bike pumps are the first to go. But that there be a larger discussion of how in the county or within a city, that there be some maintenance, coordinated maintenance or general maintenance and funding, regular eyes on those to keep them going. The one in the entrance of Timberline, I guess the bike pump's been gone for 2 years. So as the neighborhood association, they were trying to at least get that fixed and add another station. But the ongoing maintenance, and it might be a good, I thought that might be a good role for a local nonprofit or service club to kind of keep eyes on those. So I hear you.
2 words, trail camera.
All right, well, if there's no other folks that want to testify before the commission, meeting is adjourned.